I'm not. I don't even know how to even start episodes anymore. Yeah, so God of War is a good game.
It's a very good game.
We cannot talk about it other than that it is a good game.
But hear me out. What if we did anyway?
Okay, so like actually one thing I can say about God of War. I did watch some fucking Xbox propaganda video, not but like
What?
an hour and a half
Okay.
ago. Yeah, Xbox propaganda. It was $70 God of War game versus free Halo Infinite game, and it was just Kratos like throwing an axe at some watermelon, and then it's not blowing up, and then it swaps over to Halo Infinite where you can shoot the fruit stands and they blow up or whatever, and they're like, "What's the deal?" or whatever. So they're trying.
Wow.
I get
All
yeah.
right.
I'm like,
I mean,
dude,
look,
Xbox.
I will grant you, I do not think God of War, past or present, is for everyone. I think that is a weird way to try to make the same point as me, but okay. Hey, you do you, console warriors.
I'm just like, I'm like, man, X Pro's really stretching on this on this this game definitely better, definitely has more money or something put into it. And I'm like, I'll go ahead and say that Halo Infinite probably doesn't have as much money as God of War has been put into it.
Halo doesn't have a lot of things.
Yeah.
Halo's had its producers come out and openly admit, yeah, we kind of fucked this up. We're gonna make it better. And you know what?
Yeah.
I believe them. I believe that they want Halo to at some point be playable
Mm-hmm.
and not just a game that you play occasionally and shit on. God of War kind of didn't have that opening day failure. It's kind of been amazing, and it took me like a week to get through it, and I'm still thinking about it. Oh, it's a good feeling. It's like finishing a really good book series.
Yeah. So we've both beaten the story of God of War.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We'll not be talking about the story of God of War because it's only been a week, and
It's been
1 week. It's been 1 week since God of War came out, and we're not going to talk about the story because that's spoiler territory, and people might not want to hear spoilers about God of War because it's
no. You do not want to be spoiled on this. It's so good.
um. That being said, I would say it probably took me around 30 something hours, maybe close to 40 to get through the story.
It definitely
Um,
took you a lot less time than it took me because I know I was at 40 when you said you were finished. So I'm probably hovering somewhere around the 50 mark.
you also did probably a lot more side content than I
Oh yeah,
did.
I have like 3 or 4 more things and then I platinum this game.
Yeah, I at a certain point in time, I was like, I'm just blitzing through the story. I need to get through the story because there's other games I need to play. And while I will come back to Ragnarok to do all the other side content because this game's not particularly hard. It is challenging in some aspects, but it also doesn't have a difficulty trophy, so who cares?
Bless. Play it at whatever level you feel the need to play it at, whether it be give me balance, give me war, give me God of War, or I forget what the last one is called. It's
Give
really
me
fun
God of
though.
War is the highest one, I think. So, um, I will say after playing this game, uh, I think Elden Ring will probably take Game of the Year.
Uh,
I think. I
hmm.
think. I think. Like, no, I'm not saying that Elden Ring's a better game. I'm saying Elden Ring. Um.
No, I mean I get it because I think I agree with you,
Yeah.
and I think I agree with you for the same reasons that I think we've spoken about before. If no other, like all other reasons being exempt, Elden Ring probably takes the cake just for being multi-console. or multi-platform rather.
Yeah, I mean that's not where I was gonna. What I was thinking about. I mean, it just kind of takes the cake because it is multi-console or like
Yeah,
multi-platform.
and I think yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Like all everything else being equal, and it's not. But pretending that everything else was like exactly the same, like Elden Ring's gonna take it. I think just because more people got to be excited
Hmm.
to get their hands on it, and then more people did get to play it.
Yeah. I also kind of wanna point out the fact that most people's average play times for their first playthrough of Elden Ring stretches into the mid to upper hundreds of
Correct.
hours.
Correct.
Um, there is kind of a ridiculous amount of stuff in Elden Ring. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're still finding things sometime next year. Like just like, oh, holy crap! I didn't even know this concept was here, and then people mess with it, and
uh,
nothing
I th-
huge, mind you, but
yeah, I think as a pure content driven and altogether piece of media, Elden Ring kind of pushes out to the front of like what is a game of the year video game. God of War Ragnarok is a game of the year video game. I can say that. It does have a lot of content. Most content won't take you more than maybe 60 hours at max to do everything in the game and then put it down. Um but it's 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 just a better God of War 2018. Um like
yes, yes.
the cuz I was listening to a few things and like the thing that Elden Ring probably has over God of War Ragnarok is the fact that Elden Ring is, while it's based off of the past 10 years of Dark Souls, um it's kind of got a lot of new stuff to introduce into the gaming world, while God of War Ragnarok doesn't do that. Um,
I'm inclined to agree with your destination. I don't know that I agree with how you got there though.
well, okay, so when God of War 2018 came out, it was new, it was fresh, it
Yeah,
was
100%, 100%.
it was the reason why it took Game of the Year that year is because it was something that was like if somebody's like first time eating fucking like eat In and Out or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, this is the best fucking burger ever. All right. Um,
Yeah, and
and
then they
God of
get to
War
the
got
fries.
yeah, come on. We're not talking about fries. Um, and then God of War Ragnarok is like your return to um your return to In and Out after having other burger joints. All right. Where you're like, yes, this is a very good burger or whatever, but I'm also tired of eating burgers. While Elden Ring is like a fucking BLT or something like that.
So
I don't know.
I still
Yeah,
understand. I definitely get
yeah,
it. I definitely get
yeah,
it. But hear me out.
yeah.
After having played previous Dark Souls games, I still disagree with that because I still feel that
Okay,
Elden Ring is just Dark Souls 4, which I don't think is a bad thing. I've
I know.
enjoyed the Dark Souls games I've played, but it is just Dark Souls 4.
see. I don't fully agree that it's just Dark Souls 4. I think it's. I mean, yes, it's a next step in like the Dark Souls
Oh
kind
no
of
no no no!
genre.
I am being incredibly mean when I say this.
Okay.
I don't mean like
Um.
it's pushing forward the concept. I mean
No.
if you had made if you had made the next Dark Souls game, it would have been this. There would have just been an emphasis on fire.
I
Oh
don't.
wait,
I
this is
don't.
my point.
I don't think. I actually don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think if they would have made a Dark Souls 4, it would have been an open world RPG like this.
oh,
Because
I
because none of their development ever went that way. No matter what
don't
game,
think this is
even
something that
at
gets me
like
though.
the two games that they branched off to make between Dark Souls and Elden Ring were also in the same vein as Dark Souls.
Sure, sure. And but the problem, my problem comes down to, um, and again, I don't say this as a bad thing. I say this as
Yeah.
I'm being very realistic about this. I don't think this game is that different from Dark Souls. I don't.
I no. At its base, it is a
Its
Dark Souls
map
base.
design is Dark Souls. Its weapon combat is Dark Souls. Its item combat is
Yeah,
Dark Souls. The narrative is much better, but it's still not great. And the world building is very
but here's
familiar.
here's what I'm saying. I'm saying the next game that they make is not going to be like an Elden. They're not going to make another open world RPG. They're going to make something more akin to Dark
Do you think they step
or
backward now?
Bloodborne or Blood. Yes, I do. The amount of time it took them to make Elden Ring, yeah, I do.
Yeah, but now they have the pipeline.
No, they have no, they have the resources that they had for Elden Ring or whatever, but they'd still have to go and remake more assets for a new
Sure,
open world
sure,
RPG.
100%.
It would still take them probably the same amount of time that it took them to make Elden Ring. I think they do step back into what I no. I mean, actually no. I think the next thing they do is a Bloodborne, and it's going to play like Bloodborne. And I don't think it's gonna be open world Bloodborne. I think it's gonna be the same format that Bloodborne is.
I know a lot of people who would like that.
But no,
Um,
go back to playing like Bloodborne, or like
I
go
just know
back
a lot of people that
or
like
open world
Bloodborne too.
Bloodborne.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
no. I
straight up.
think
I
they
don't
do
think
make
a lot of people.
I think they do make Bloodborne too. That's what I'm saying. I
No,
think
I'm
they do
agreeing with
make.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people would like that, and I don't think people would actually care, especially the people who have been waiting for
Yeah.
a follow up to Bloodborne. I don't think they care about open world versus a
Mhm.
more thoughtful, put together linear
Yeah.
path. Um,
I
well,
think Elden Ring brings a lot more to the Dark Souls genre than any of the other Dark Souls did. And so, while yes, God of War Ragnarok is definitely an upgrade from God of War 2018.
yes. End of the day, God of War is actually doing a whole lot less pushing forward the
It's like a
series.
half step up
100%.
while Elden Ring was like a 2 to 3 step
Yeah,
up.
like 1,000%. There is less going
Yeah.
on in the jump between God of War
Yeah.
2018 to Ragnarok than there is
Yeah.
between any FromSoft game to Elden Ring. I just wanted to put out there that I don't think the jump between the FromSoft games is actually as big as people like to make it out to be. I genuinely don't. But yeah, it is inarguable that God of War purposefully went out of its way to keep things very familiar.
Yeah. So, I think that that in doing will have Elden Ring at least take the game of the year.
Oh, that's really interesting because that is not something that I would have thought is a strength for Elden Ring. Is its uh differences from previous games? No, I genuinely think that that was a non-factor. Like, I think that the base, the amount of people it got, and its replayability are the biggest things.
Yeah. I
And
mean, that's
that's true. That's true of most FromSoft games. Like, I think what we're seeing with Elden Ring is actually something we could have seen if Dark Souls and Bloodborne wasn't kind of a meme before. It wasn't just the game that is hard before.
yeah. Yeah.
Now that people have actually willing to give it a try, they're seeing like the maybe not infinite, but the incredible replayability and the constant finding of new features in this series. And I think that is probably what makes it a stronger overall game that will appeal. Or it's not a stronger overall game. I think God of War is a stronger game, but I think it's a game that is um, infinitely more palatable to a wider audience. Because if you don't care about the story of a game, oh boy, God of War is not for you.
Yeah.
If
That
you're a game first player, like Elden Ring 12 times out of 10. Like, you're going to make 2 more attempts because that is a game first mentality. And
Yeah.
God of War really is just a good game with a superb story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I feel like that's actually kind of all we can talk about for God of War.
That's about as far as I can say. Yep.
Well,
But these are absolutely your game of the year contenders. Almost certainly
yeah.
almost certainly no one else is going to be actually
Yeah.
punching at their weight class.
Got him. Just imagine the Stray upset.
My friend, I will never stop laughing. I will be giggling about that as I die. Funny enough, quick tangent. So I was out watering the garden today. I too have a stray. I promise I am not a robot. Waltzed right into my backyard and chilled with me as I watered my garden. Super cute. I am a Disney princess. I had that and 2 birds just chill with me. So I
And you're
guess I
not
need to
playing.
learn.
And you're not playing Harvestella?
No, I was playing IRL Harvestella, just without quietus. I need to learn how to sing pronto. Maybe Pixar or Disney will hire me.
Yeah, maybe. Um, but speaking of Harvestella,
Oh,
I didn't play that this week.
oh, well, you
I played
got me.
I played another game after I beat God of War. Uh, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out.
Sure did.
Sure did. Um, it shouldn't have.
See, I'm happy to hear you agree with me on this.
It should not have
It
come
shouldn't
out.
have. Quick preface. Anyone enjoying Pokemon, please continue enjoying Pokemon. We don't mean this hatefully. We're getting there.
Oh no, I enjoy this Pokemon. This what this Pokemon actually has to offer is better than any other Pokemon that I've played. It's just not ready.
Correct.
It's just not ready.
An unfortunate familiar song sung at the opening of a new Pokemon generation.
Yeah. I'll speak about the good of this Pokemon. I'm like 20 hours in the Pokemon. All right.
Have you really put that much time into it already?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
This Pokemon is completely open world. And by completely open world, I mean I've walked pretty much around everywhere. Well, not around everywhere, but I've walked to a lot of places. In this game. And I've only got 4 gym badges, and 2 Team Star badges, and 3 Titan badges. By the way, there's like a lot of badges in this game that you get because there's 3 routes in this game that you can work along towards.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
There's a lot of Pokemon. By a lot, I mean there's 400 Pokemon in this game. And
There are a lot of Pokemon, yeah.
that's combined with both Scarlet and Violet. That's including like the ones that are exclusive. There's not that many exclusive Pokemon. There's like about 8. There's about 8 exclusive Pokemon. 2 of them are the main legendaries, which I'm assuming you possibly get them at the end of towards the end of the game. I'm not 100% sure. The reason why I'm saying that now is because you technically get the legendary in the beginning of the game as you're walking to school. Not in your party, but it does become your vehicle. So you get a bike / a lizard bike thing. The big upside about this game is that you can play with your friends. You can play with 3 other friends.
Huge.
You're gonna host a session. All right. You can do everything in this game that you would do by yourself with the 3 other people. The 3 other people can just progress their own story while in the session with you. You can just do whatever the fuck you want. Which is really cool. And like I haven't even had a disconnect. My game crashed the other night or last night or whatever, and
That's
that wasn't even a network thing. That was just like my game crashed or whatever. I mean, and that happens on like a fucking PS5 sometimes too. So I'm not gonna like be mad at that. There's these things called terror raid battles. They're pretty much like the raid battles that you did in Sword and Shield. You just go to an area. There's like these like crystal like caves or whatever that you enter and you fight a Pokemon. It's ranging anywhere between 1 and like I think 7 stars. And you can either do them with the random AI or with the people in your session, and it's pretty fun. Like this game has more content in it than any other Pokemon I think had, maybe not more than Arceus. Arceus had a lot of shit in it. I've never played Arceus, but I've seen the stuff that you can do in Arceus, and it's pretty cool. But Arceus was also the basis for this gen. So they took a lot of stuff from Arceus, so you can like the whole open world and shit. There's no random battles, and Pokemon are just like walking around the world, and you can find whatever Pokemon. It's easier to find shinies this way because they in the overworld they will be shiny, so you can like see their different colors. They definitely lowered the fucking rate of seeing, or like raised the rate of seeing shinies, because a lot of people have seen a lot of shinies. I have not ran into a shiny yet, but I know of ways to kind of force out a higher percentage for shinies. And when I finish this game, if I was so inclined to do shiny hunting, I know what to do. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of shit to do with this game. I've had a lot, like I said, I played 20 hours of it. A lot of it's been playing with like with a couple of our other friends. It's been fun. Now, the bad side about this game is what I was saying, that this game should not have come out. There was no QA for this game. This game runs like absolute dog shit. It is very low frame rate, a very high amount of slowdown, definitely a lot of graphical glitches. The Pokemon AI is kind of weird. I watched a Magikarp flop up a hill and then across the bridge.
Nice.
But
how else is the Magikarp gonna get around?
Hey man, like at that point, like, so the Magikarp flopping up a hill and across the bridge. I actually don't mind that. I think that gives this game charm, because you can just fucking find random shit like that happening.
Oh, that's some Bethesda level.
Yeah,
jank. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
But everything else is, the performance of this game is. They should have at least given this game another 6 months in the cooker. The Pokemon Company really needs to stop making Game Freak release so many Pokemon. They release at least a Pokemon a year. They can't do it. They don't have the people, they don't have the time, they don't have the structure to do that. And 2 games came out in the same year, made by the same team. So you could definitely tell, like, while Arceus like ran fine or whatever, the cost of that is this game not running fine. That being said, it's a fun game. If you're on the fence about playing Pokemon, I can't say to buy it, and I can't say wait for it to go on sale, because it's a Nintendo game. They don't go on sale.
Never gonna do it. Yeah.
But if you're a Pokemon fan and you haven't gotten it yet,
who do you think you're talking to? Those don't exist.
Yeah.
Pokemon fan, they have it.
If you're not a Pokemon, if you're not normally a Pokemon fan, due to the fact that Pokemon's just reiterated on itself like 12 billion times over the past like 5 to 10 years, um, this game is definitely a little bit more different than a normal Pokemon game. Like if you played Sword and Shield, plays honestly kind of nothing like Sword and Shield. Um, it's definitely got a lot more difference, and it has the buff that you can play with your friends. So yeah, I'm always an advocate of being able to have unmitigated friend playing. So
Racing.
yeah,
I haven't so much. I'm gonna put my little 2 cents in here. Visually, yeah, no, the game's kind of a mess. What are you gonna do? A lot of the issues that are fairly routine for a Pokemon game where they're ugly heads, and like Aqua said, yeah, this 100% comes down to the dev team being rushed. Like this game could have used 6 months of polish, and it would have been the best game that they've ever made, and everyone would have sung their praises. People would have finally stopped ragging on Game Freak for like 6 months, but that didn't happen, and the rush that went into this is clearly shown. But yeah, to your point, I guess Pokemon has always been kind of multiplayer in the competitive aspect, but it's nice to see a more casual aspect shown off here too. Unlike in Sword and Shield, where I mean, I guess you could see each other in that horrid, barren place that was multiplayer. You can actually like travel together. You can set up
yeah,
like fun picnics. You can go and shiny hunt together. You can actually enjoy this continent, Paldea,
hmm
right?
yeah.
Together and do
Uh,
stuff like and whilst I don't have the game, it has actually been super charming to watch a bunch of people play together. So this definitely seems like, with Arceus, as was true with Arceus, the correct step in the right direction. The next good step would be if they gave more dev time,
yep.
because
I
I just don't see why they need the turnaround to be what it is.
Yeah, like literally more dev time. Just that's all they need. They just need like it feels like they got this game in the phase where it can be played from beginning to end or whatever. Um
We're done, guys. We
and
did it.
and then they shipped it. Yeah. um they were like, "Okay, we have all the content in the game. You can play it from start to finish. That's all we need to do." No, 6 more months of just polish or whatever. Make it run at a steady 60. Or no, God no, not a steady 60.
Not
That's too much.
no, no, no.
No,
The
no,
game
that's
doesn't
too
even do
much.
60. No,
At a steady 30 or
correct.
whatever. This game would have been the best Pokemon ever released. Um, and that's like even accounting for like Coliseum and shit like that.
And
Um,
moreover, I said it before, but the more fine tune a game that gets put out in a series like this, the
yeah.
better all future versions will be. Because, like I said with Elden Ring, the pipeline is now there. So
Yeah.
if you understand where your faults are, you can make sure you don't run into them next time. So having an actual pristine game out like that is bug free and for the most part a nice solid release, you're good, man. If it
Mm-hmm.
takes that extra 3 to 6 months, let it take that extra 3 to 6 months. Because frankly, Pokemon prints money. It doesn't matter when you put it out. This would compete with any game that came out next to it and be fine. Because either the people are going to buy it or it and its competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not something that needs to worry about that. Not to mention, it's not like the Pokemon Company is hurting.
No.
Like they have other means to keep them afloat during all this. They are like one of the most. Are they the most profitable company in the world? They're up there.
Close to it, yeah.
A media
Uh,
based company, I think. Anyway,
I mean, okay, so like either way, it doesn't matter. While they have the bad press of this game being
oh, this
like
game's
the
so
tech
like fucking
the
hotcakes. Oh my
technological
goodness.
like piece of shit. This is one of the best selling Pokemon games out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
as I said, I've been having fun with it. I mean, after we do this podcast, I'll probably be hopping back on and playing a little bit more. Either that or playing Harvestella too, or maybe buying Ruby Arrowfell. I do want to play that. I've heard good things about that game. So, and it is Ruby, so it is kind of an IP that I'm just gonna be forever attached to. So, other than that, I played Arknights. At some point in time, I'm gonna go back to doing the story in Arknights, but I have yet to.
Yeah, good luck finding time.
I have yet to start doing that. I mean, I've been like logging on and depleting my stamina in Arknights.
Yeah. No, Agna just keeps throwing events at me though. I just haven't had the time to go back to the story since.
Well, I'm in the middle of an event.
Came out.
We're in the middle of there not being an event, or like, well, the event that was going on is like about to end in like a day or two. So, I don't know if there's another event coming up like within the next couple of days.
No, there'll be a rerun coming soon enough.
But who knows? Yeah. I mean that's all I played.
I have nothing to add. I hardcore focused. That's not true. That's not true. I did hardcore focus on God of War. I had a lovely time with that emotional roller coaster. And then I literally played maybe an hour ago some Overwatch. And other than that, it's mostly the same as you, God of War and Arknights. So.
And my eyes rolled in the back of my head as soon as you said Overwatch.
Look, Overwatch as a game is fine. I just refuse to put money towards it.
Yeah. Man, I can't put anything Blizzard at the moment, man. It's just I don't want to be attached to it. Don't want to be attached. Don't want to be attached to it. As I am looking, Little has not sent us anything. What a piece of motherfucker. I guess he knew the leak was weird. Yeah. So I guess we'll get into the news. On my first bullet point, it's avoid talking about God of War spoilers. I think we did that.
We navigated around it.
I'm not actually going to talk about my next bullet point right now. I actually just forgot. I don't know how I forgot, but spell it. Why has this week systematically just taken out our childhood?
Oh my god. I didn't want to talk about this. I didn't think you were going to bring it up.
Oh man.
Like the moment it started trending, I knew and I was like, no. And then
first Kevin Conroy is gone.
Voice of Batman died.
The voice of Batman. All right. That's sad enough of a week already.
It really is. That gutted me. It did.
Then the other night, you didn't want to believe it.
No, I refused to when I saw it. I was trying to figure out how many ways I could prove that was clearly fake.
Because there was no other substantial evidence other than one reporting of it. All right. So I was like, okay, well maybe it is fake. All right. Maybe it's another Jimmy Fallon type thing. All right. Where everybody was just saying Jimmy Fallon's dead. Then the next day, I saw that it was officially announced that Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger, Super Green Ranger, were in one of the later this series, passed away.
Yeah.
So Kevin Conroy hurt because he's the voice of Batman, the voice.
Yeah,
of Batman.
I mean, they both rock me. I can't say which one hurts more, but losing Kevin really sucks. Marvel might be the shit now, but
yeah,
DC was where all animation was at an all-time high. Justice League, the animated series of Batman and Robin, the voice actors being so good.
Yeah, it's not even just the animated Batman series was just so fucking good. It was ridiculous. it was just ridiculous. All right.
Like that, like the original run, the Superman and Batman into Justice League, into Justice League Unlimited, that whole block
Mhm.
of time was just and the voice direction that was super solid. The storytelling was super good. I don't think any of them actually measure up
Mhm.
to the original run of the Batman animated series, but even later on, it was still good. And you got so many strong voice actors out of it. George Newbern on Superman, Phil Lamar on Green Arrow,
Mhm.
Buddy Mark Hamill
Campbell
as the
as the
Joker,
Joker. Yeah.
uh, Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor, and Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Yeah. But the news about Jason David Frank
Yeah, and then there's
uh,
this.
hit me super hard.
I
Um,
did not stay with Rangers for a long time. Like the original gen into Turbo is where like I peaked. So he was just always a part of it.
I didn't. The only time I picked up Power Rangers, I went up through In Space or whatever, because um that was the I think the last part of that, like, not just canonical, but like last part of that, like, connected storyline or whatever.
Sure, sure, sure.
Um, which uh, which Jason David Frank I don't think was part of In Space. Um, because I think he tapped out during
Last time I
right
remember
before
is
Turbo.
yeah, no, the last time I remember is Zeo, honestly, but
Oh yeah, Zero, yeah, which was right before Turbo.
was it
Um,
right before Turbo? I
yeah,
get the seasons all mixed up now. Then yeah, I
yeah,
guess Turbo.
yeah, because it was Mighty Morphin into Zeo, if I recall correctly.
And then yeah, and
Um,
they just continued, and he would keep turning up. He was the quintessential Saban Company man. He loved working on
yeah.
Ranger stuff.
And one of my favorite series for Power Rangers is fucking Dino Thunder, and he plays Dr. Tommy Oliver in there,
Doctor Tommy Oliver, let's
where
go.
he's leading the Dino Thunder Rangers. Um, he actually has one of the harder hitting storylines in Dino Thunder, where one time he's in a coma, and he's has to fight his past self in his like subconscious.
Sure.
Uh, so so good. Like, growing up, Power Rangers was the shit. It was like I'm not a Sentai Super Sentai person or whatever. Like, you're not gonna catch me watching pretty much any Super Sentai, or any like Garo or any like fucking anything like that. But specifically, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was uh, just hits different. All
It
right,
does. Even today, as corny as it may be, it still hits different. It's great.
yeah. Um, so hearing that he died and how he died, um,
Which we will not be going into.
yeah, we won't be going into, is definitely heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Like, I know Kevin Conroy was one of the people that you were like always like hoping to meet one day or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jason David Frank was definitely a high up on that list for me.
Oh, I have like two
Uh,
friends that have met him too. Ah.
um,
It was never even a worry in my mind. He was always going to con,
yeah,
always meeting fans, always participating in the community somehow. And
yeah,
you just would always think he'd be there.
and he's always coming back to do more Power Ranger stuff, like always. Um, just fucking suck. Um, I know. I know someday soon I'm gonna either sit down and do like a binge of Mighty Morphin, or maybe watch the movie. We have
Mhm.
one of the songs that plays in the Mighty Morphin movie plays in at work. Um, is it Free Ride?
Free
plays
ride.
plays at work, and every time I hear it, I
Get your
think of
inline skate song, kids.
yeah, I know.
Going
I
rollerblading.
I just immediately think of like Power Rangers. Fuck, man. Now every time I hear that, I have to think about that. It's like fuck.
Yeah, Power Rangers has a lot of sad moments. Training,
Uh,
a
yeah,
lot of the
training.
drama,
Yeah,
that goes a lot behind some of the earlier seasons.
yeah,
But like nothing hurts as much as losing a ranger, losing Jason, losing the actress of training. Like it sucks.
yeah.
Like I remember growing up, I had the martial arts videos. Oh, my mother fucking hated that I had them because I would use them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a big
But
part.
people like David Yost and Johnny Young Bosch and I think not Walter Jones, but Steve Cardenas, they've all tweeted out saying how heartbroken they are over it. So it's definitely sucks.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
rough.
sucks. Yeah, I always saw it in my head. I was like, I can always look forward to seeing more cameos of Tommy Oliver in later Power Rangers, as long as as long as fucking JDF was like always down to do it. He fucking loves Saban.
He even turned up in the movies.
Yeah,
JDF and Amy Jo Johnson made a cameo in the Power Ranger movie. Like they were just
yeah,
always down to be there.
yeah. I don't have a good segue into this, but
No, that's far
uh,
away.
Near is collabing with Rainbow Six Siege.
Sure is.
Weird. Yoko Taro himself said, "I bow to capitalism," and he does. You pay Rainbow, you pay Yoko Taro enough money, he will sign off on 2B being in anything.
He's so honest about it. I can't even be mad though.
It's so
Like this
weird.
makes no sense. And I'm like, yeah, but you did say you would do it, so here we are, I guess.
Where's our Arknights collab with fucking Nier? Come on, man, that could fit.
I would absolutely love that, by the way. And I
You
think
get it.
that would
Imagine
fit
having
way better than like Monster Hunter and Rainbow Six. They made Rainbow
yeah,
Six work real well in it too.
yeah. Could you imagine like having a 2B operator, man? Yeah, it'd
To
be so
be as
cool.
a dreadnought guard, maybe a double strike. Nah, don't put her in Chen's archetype.
Nah,
We
she'd
already have
be
Irene.
she'd definitely be a guard.
Yeah, have
Yeah.
her be a guard. You'd have you have like the various characters from base Nier. You have Nier, kind of. You could have a lot of people show up. Oh my goodness! I think I'd be down for that. I think I'd be down for that a lot. Yoko Taro, I know you're not listening, but hear me out. Do
Yeah.
this.
I mean, okay. I mean, no, we have to say is, all right, developers of Arknights, please contact Yoko Taro.
Please
Give him
contact
some
Yoko
money.
Taro. He can be bought.
He can and will be bought. And just think, how much money will you make off of a Nier collab? A lot.
It's just the series that keeps relevant, even when it probably shouldn't. I mean, I love
Yeah.
it. I think it's great. I like Nier. I love Nier Automata. I thought it was super strange that it had an entire raid in 14 and they made that absolutely work.
I mean,
To be turned up in Soul Calibur, that absolutely worked, and it
yeah, that worked.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have. It was great. It's great. It's wonderful, and I appreciate it. And may it keep happening, I guess.
Yep. um, what is going to keep happening is that we're going to get more Cyberpunk stuff because Cyberpunk team has moved out of Poland and they are now in Boston working on the
Yeah,
sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 called
yeah.
Cyberpunk 2078.
I hope not. Yeah, I assume they're like in the super alpha, like just taking pictures, trying to figure out what city they want to base things on, how
It's
they
going to
want
be
things to
well.
look.
I mean, it's probably going to be like Boston or something like that, because I assume the next game's going to be taking part in the America.
Oh well, we have the DLC for that, and we're still not even sure how that's going to go down. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Knowing that they had footholds in multiple spots in the United States, this doesn't actually surprise me. Splitting up the dev teams to allow them to work on their project separately is fine. Will allow the Polish studio to get to work on the three Witcher titles
Oh
they
well.
have.
I think the
In,
remake of Witcher 1 is being outsourced.
fair enough. But the fact of the matter is, like, as a unit, CD Projekt Red has 4 or 5 different things in motion at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this won't really be much of a shakeup. They will have had ideas like this in place for a while. It's really cool that they're using the location spot in America to kind of split it up and have different houses for all that. It'll be really interesting to see what comes of it. I imagine we won't even hear anything about this game realistically for 3 years, maybe 4.
Oh yeah, most likely. Yeah,
Please,
you know
God.
you know what I hope we don't hear about in the next 3 to 4 years.
Go on then.
Yuji Naka.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
one of the
this is
one of
spicy.
the one of the fathers of Sonic. And the creator of Balan Wonderworld, the greatest platforming RPG out there. He got he got arrested for insider trading.
I thought I forget who said it. Someone kind of put it well. Like usually this would be kind of hard to tack on to someone, but given that they swapped studios, right? It made it pretty simple to figure out when this company might see an uptick in its value. So
Well,
his suspicious activity looked all the more suspicious coming from a company that was kind of plateauing, doing their usual thing, and was about to see a major uptick working on a Dragon Quest game. So,
yeah. Um. So
like,
the
this
big
was
story.
stupid. This was
Yeah.
just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. All for like $2,700, man. Um. So the big story for this is that
Wait, hold on, 2,700?
yeah, he didn't get that much money out of it.
I've been adding a whole extra zero to that. Oh
Uh
no.
that's because well, I mean, you can add, like, maybe it was like 27, maybe it was 270,000 yen, which would be like not as much USD. Um
True.
so the big the story goes like this, all right? Yuji Naka hasn't been part of Square Enix since 6 months before Balan Wonderworld came out. All right.
Sure.
He got let go 6 months, he got taken off the team 6 months before that because he's an asshole. Um even the guy that moved up with him throughout Sega and into Square Enix or whatever hates fucking guts cuz complete dickhead. Um, around the time he got fired, um, 2 other people got fired. Um, I don't know their names, but they got fired for um recently buying stock into Square Enix because they knew that Square Enix was about to announce a new Dragon Quest mobile game.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Um, it was reported that Yuji Naka was also part of this. Um, and there had been an investigation going on for a good like year. Yeah, it's actually probably been about a year. Um, been an investigation for about a year going on with this sting that they are trying to find people doing more insider trading. Yuji Naka, finally this week, who was on the list, got arrested for said thing, and hopefully we'll never have to actually talk about Yuji Naka ever again, unless he breaks out of jail, which I highly doubt he'll do. So yeah, guys, don't insider trade because
Yeah, that's super illegal. Don't do that.
you will get caught.
Yeah, like, especially don't do it when it's so obvious. Like, it's just not good. What are you doing?
Yeah. People always wondered, because like the timing for Yuji Naka being let go from Square Enix was also like a bit weird, because he was let off 6 months before Balan Wonderworld came out, so he was taken off the last 6 months of this of that game coming out. That didn't help the game at all because the game was still shit. But it was also weird that he was taken off before the game came out because, yeah, Yuji Naka's a bit of an asshole, but I don't know if it would have been enough for him to take him off before the game came out. Usually like maybe weeks before the game comes out, you get a thing saying, "Oh yeah, he's been taken off the thing or whatever." It wasn't until after the game came out that I think we knew that he was not part of Square Enix. And then it was like 6 months before that and then it was 6 months like before that he had been taken off. But the timing was really weird because that coincides with the timing of the announcement of this Dragon Quest mobile title being announced.
Do you remember the reason why we found out was because of the court case?
Yes.
Because he sued Square Enix.
Yeah. Which, by the way, probably is one of the things that did not work in his favor.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Because, honestly, in the middle of an investigation, you have this little thing called discovery. And it might have been found out there that he was insider trading.
Yeah, that man was living in litigation.
So, yeah, I mean, it's no loss to the game industry. Yuji Naka has not come out with anything good since Sonic.
Damn,
he's
this
not
got
had
brutal real quick.
I mean, he has. Yuji Naka's name. Yuji Naka only has a name because of Sonic, because he's one of the fathers of Sonic. All right, but that can only make you go so far. All right, you gotta at least still come out with something noteworthy over years, instead of just being like, I mean, fucking Sakaguchi came out with what, 6 other titles before he quit fucking Square.
True, it's true.
There were still all Final Fantasy titles, but there were still like 6 veritable bangers. Yuji Naka made like I don't know how many Sonic games he made, but I don't think it was. Sonic fell off pretty hard too, so hell, even this new Sonic game is quote unquote good.
Damn, Aqua's out here picking fights.
Dude, I don't like Sonic at all. So I mean, nobody has any love for Yuji Naka. Even
Evidently, yeah.
no, like fucking like surfing around the web in like everything talking about Yuji
Yeah,
Naka.
he certainly made himself an enemy
of
like most people, actually.
So hopefully I don't have to talk about this guy anymore, because I was honestly kind of done with the court case after Balan Wonderworld. Kind of just done after that. After reading up how shit he was of a fucking colleague in both Sega and Square Enix. So yeah. So cheers to Yuji Naka being arrested. Yay. So Dalit,
So, May.
are you wanting something Legacy of Kain to come out at some point in time?
God, I want it so bad. I don't even care
Are
if
you-
it's a new game. I want. I sit here nightly, waiting for my chance to see the Overlord Kain again. Play as him or his right hand, Raziel. No, but seriously, yeah, no, I fucking would love a new game. I'd love remakes of the first two games. Sorry, first two Legacy of Kain games. I'd love to see remasters or remakes of the entire Soul Reaver franchise. Yes, 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 yes. Crystal Dynamics, help me.
Are you letting Crystal Dynamics know this?
Oh boy, did I! They put out this nice little poll where they asked a lot of questions, and I could give feedback. I gave feedback.
Yeah. Well, good, because they said that they're listening. That they know people want more. want more. They know. They just know.
Yeah, no, it got a bunch of replies, which they'd even mentioned they weren't used to seeing.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What was it, like 100,000 replies, which may not sound like much, frankly. And I understand anyone who's saying 100,000 replies isn't that much. But when you're used to getting like 10 or 20, suddenly you're getting hit, boom, upwards of like 5 to 10-fold. Yeah, that's quite a sharp increase. Especially for what is a kind of a cult classic kind of game. Cult classic series. I love it. The writing on that is absolutely spectacular. The music work was grand. The voiceover work was absolutely amazing. And I mean, Michael Bell and Simon Templeman are still with us. Alas, Tony J is not. And I would love to hear them again. Absolutely love to hear them again.
Yeah.
So Crystal Dynamics, I know you hear us, but are you listening?
Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Yeah. So Crystal Dynamics says that they hear you and they know that everybody wants more Legacy of Kain.
I got to tell you though, making 33,000 accounts, having Leek make 33,000 accounts, having Ralph make 33,000 accounts was rough. Oh boy, we stayed up all night. Just the three of us bringing back this franchise.
I can't wait to listen to Ralph's next This Week in Gaming.
I love it. Yeah,
he's gonna be like, yo boys, we did it, Crystal Dynamics, finally,
yes.
finally some good fucking food.
Oh my goodness, we will be of one mind.
Yeah.
I don't see eye to eye with Ralph on everything. Destiny, but this.
Mm-hmm.
This I will back him on this 1,000%.
Yep. Well, oddly enough, something I can, I guess, get behind on, which is weird enough to say when I'm about to talk about Blizzard. They're suspending all game services in China.
So, did you read up on why? Because this has been a really, really weird story.
I actually don't know why.
So, like, the contract's expiring, right? They have a
Yeah.
contract where a certain amount of their games will be fulfilled. It's why something like Diablo Immortal is still going to be allowed through, because that's a recent contract. Whereas a lot of things like Overwatch and World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, is that still a game? Whatever. All those titles gonna be gone. There's been a spat between the various PR heads, and it's been really weird. Where Blizzard has come out and said, "Well, they'd love to re-up it and do all of this, that, and the other," and China's come out saying, "Hey, yeah." So the guy leading this has really kind of pissed on this whole contract stuff, and he's kind of a dickhead, and he's ruining it for everyone.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is just like negotiations going poorly because they sent the wrong people to talk to one another. I don't know if that was perhaps a translation error and it wasn't that there was an individual that was souring the contract talks, or if it was just irrevocable differences between the two countries in terms of, I don't know, legal or legal or money wise. But it just seems like when the two sides came to the table, this kind of got childish and ended in a fight of some kind.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, like, the Chinese rep came out, and it shouldn't be surprised to know that China's actually a huge part of why Blizzard does well sales wise, right? Like, this isn't a big surprise. The Chinese gaming market is absolutely massive. They love WoW. Matter of fact, hey, remember that god awful WoW movie? The Chinese loved it. It's the reason why it broke even. Or it probably, I don't think it broke even. I think it actually made a considerable profit, but it wasn't going to do that in America. No, it needed to
No.
go overseas, and specifically the Chinese market absolutely saw a huge, huge viewer base. But just thinking about it, like logistically, there are so many eyes on the product over there. I cannot imagine that Blizzard does not want to keep this going. Like, there's just not a world wherein not having the Chinese market is a good thing for a company. So I don't know. I don't know who's actually at fault here. The Chinese PR guy expressed a lot of love for the Blizzard games, and he wants them back. I mean, Blizzard clearly wants that market. So I don't know where the wires got crossed. I don't know who's at fault here, but Blizzard needs to fix that, because as funny as it would be to watch Blizzard flush billions of dollars down the drain, probably shouldn't let it happen. Probably not a great idea.
FF Phil Spencer's like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I need all that money to come back that we just paid on you. Or we're trying to spend on you.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even considered that. Suspending services in China is not going to be great in terms of the Microsoft acquisition. Not because it's going to stop it from going through, but because clearly Microsoft is using Blizzard as like a great foothold into the country. Obviously, Blizzard has its own Blizzard. Microsoft has plenty of ways into China, but this is just another way in.
Just more money.
Like,
Just
so
more money.
so what we know is that according to Blizzard, the current agreement expires fairly soon, and it covers most of the big games. I think the only one it didn't cover was Immortal, again because it's
New.
so recent. But like NetEase was is it NetEase?
I
Whatever.
think so, yeah.
But huh. Anyways, what I'll end on is saying this. The president of the Global Investment Partnership at NetEase had said this: one day, when what has happened behind the scenes can be told, already an interesting start, developers and gamers will have a whole new level of understanding of how much damage a jerk can make.
Oh,
We feel
damn.
terrible for players who lived in those worlds. That last bit being Azeroth and all of those worlds. Like, they feel sorry for anyone who can no longer log into those titles. So, like I said, if it does feel like someone who Blizzard NA sent really mucked up this whole plan, I'd love to hear more. But for now, this is what we know.
All right. Well, I hate to make you talk more, but you seem to know more about this Mick Gordon shit that we have last to talk about.
I can talk about this too. Like, this was another really, really wild situation that came up kind of out of nowhere. I missed the whole first half of this when it happened, however many months ago at this point.
Yeah.
So Mick Gordon, we all know him. He makes dope fucking music.
Yes.
Composed the music for Doom 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. With God of War being 2018, I'm starting to really lose track of all these dates. So he composed that. Everyone loved it. He came back for Doom Eternal. Music was kind of interesting, not quite the same. What's up with that? Well, Marty, whose last name I can't remember at the moment, threw Mick under the bus, saying that it was mostly due to his incompetence that the soundtrack just wasn't up to their standards. There was a big Reddit Ask Me Anything where they just kind of laid into the guy. And for a long time, Mick just didn't have anything to say about it. So we all just kind of assumed maybe he did fuck up. And this hurt him pretty substantially. A lot of people apparently just didn't want to work with the guy.
Yeah.
In the last week or so, turns out Mick was gathering up receipts because we have a 50-page manifesto about late payments, non-payments, bribery, forced work under terrible working environments.
Marty Stratton, by the way.
Marty Stratton, thank you. Yeah, it seems like Mick was put in a real shit situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already heard that he is not interested in coming back for any further work on the Doom series, which, by the way, huge fucking loss, immense loss.
Yeah,
but completely understandable if what he says is true. He worked for literally nothing for a number of months.
it's 18 months, I think.
Yeah, where he was promised payment and it just never showed up. And when he finally put his foot down, they would try to soothe it over, and a new problem would arise.
Yeah, a new problem would arise.
And when all was said and done, let's get to the end a little bit now. And the product that was put out was not up to anyone's standard because, so far as I'm aware, according to Mick, he was scoring to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing. So when the product came out and it wasn't what people wanted, he was having to make a bunch of revisions. And maybe, again, it wasn't what they wanted. So they brought someone else in to touch it up. But it's still Gordon's name on the product.
Yeah.
So when the OST ships and when people don't like it, as was shown, its first move was to throw Gordon under the bus, doing an incredible amount of damage to his reputation. What makes this worse is after that Reddit came out, the execs at id Software, according to Mick, sent a bribe his way so that he would keep his mouth shut. He would just accept all blame, and it would not have to worry about any damage to their brand.
Yeah, he said, "Fuck that,"
and he said, "Absolutely fucking not. This is my reputation that is going to be absolutely cream." And so he puts together the manifesto, and if you read through it, yeah, a lot of this does fly counter to what was said by Marty in his Reddit. And we're not there, so we can't be sure, but a lot of Mick's points make way more sense.
Yeah.
The reason why we seemingly got an inferior product was because he was flying blind, and he was working for free, and he was having to worry about juggling so many things at once. And they just wanted him to eat it. They wanted it out on their terms, at their speed, for as little money as they could give him as possible. And now he just wants, as far as I'm aware, he just wants to clear the air. He's never going to work with them again, obviously. He didn't take their bribe. He didn't take their money. He doesn't want their money. He just wants to be able to go out and make sure that he can continue doing what he does.
Yeah.
And it just seems more likely, especially during the time that this took place, which is right before the buyout, or the Microsoft buyout of ZeniMax, Bethesda, and King? No. What was the other one?
id.
Oh, right, and id itself. That what was going on here Was they wanted to be able to say, look, we made a great product, it came out. People didn't like certain aspects of it, but it's not our fault. We certainly don't want Mick Gordon blaming our executives, our producers, our directors. If it's his fault, we can just put it on him. The buyout goes through, everyone keeps their jobs, everyone gets their bonuses.
Yeah.
So that's conjecture on my part, but that's what I suspect happened.
Yeah. From what I've been reading, it does make it makes a little bit more sense from Mick end. It also sounds definitely like something a company would do in general.
Yeah, they just wanted absolute control, despite
Yeah.
Mick having a bunch of control on the first game and it sounding amazing.
Yeah. I don't know why people like try to fuck over like their composers so often, because I think we saw the same thing with what Marty O'Donnell and fucking Destiny.
And Destiny, absolutely, we saw that.
Um,
Matter of fact, he completed music of the spheres,
yeah.
and it's beautiful. And it's clear that whatever happened between them, he just took his ball and left, which
Mm.
probably put Destiny one in a right bad spot. But yeah, I don't know why the artists get ticked on the way they do. I'm sure it's just a time to money thing. Like art takes time to make. If you're not putting a game out now, you're losing money in the long run.
Hmm.
But like, there has to be a middle ground here. Like
Like
this is
com-
ridiculous.
companies need to understand that OSTs can make or break a video game. Um, like it's it's very important to have a composer that works hard on a video game, but also feels like that their work is like uh worth something. Makes them feel like their work is worth something. Because the music for Doom 2016 was absolutely amazing. The music for Doom Eternal wasn't horrible. It
No,
was
no, no, no.
different. And I think it actually um won the OST for that year. No, it didn't win the OST for that year because I was actually mad because I think something else won the OST for that year. Um, uh, but yeah, I mean, you see it so often. Fucking artists, not just like composers, but like artists in general. Like, I mean, even Riot had issues with paying their artists or having like good work times for their artists because from what I hear, what is it that the video for uh that one K-pop video
You talk about
Pop
the KDA
Stars.
stuff?
Yeah, KDA Pop Stars.
Ah, this
I
I
hear
didn't
the
hear about.
artists got super dicked over in that thing as well. They had horrible fucking horrible work times. It was like super crunch for that. Because I think they needed it to get out for because they
Probably for
needed,
Worlds.
yeah, for Worlds. Um,
Yeah, so obviously, like they give them a couple of months to put together like this incredibly difficult thing.
mhm.
That because I assume a lot of this comes from people who just like they're not artists themselves, and they realize, well, it's going to be like a 5 minute video at the end. So
Yeah,
how long
but
could it
like,
possibly take? Not considering how long it's actually going to take because of everything that goes into it.
yeah, 5-minute video means like, I mean, like, just people have to think it takes millions of dollars to make like a blockbuster movie, and that's an hour and a half to 2 hours. All right, so and how long does it usually take to make a movie? Years.
Hmm. Hmm.
So just like a 5 to 10 minute video, and a lot of it's actually just like hand drawn art and animation, um, and digital. It's still gonna take. It may only take months to do, but it's still gonna be a lot of work. So, developers, not even developers, just like companies that rule over the developers need to realize that the technical work needs to have time. I mean, it's the same fucking thing with Pokemon, and the technical work needs its time. All right.
It's just gonna come down to if a product isn't on its shelf, it's losing money for the company.
Yeah.
Even if it's gonna make literally all of the money in the world once it goes out, it's not doing that now. Ergo, some executive somewhere or some investor somewhere is getting really nervous. That's all it is. It's just a lack of faith by the people who want to make even more money.
Yeah. That's actually all the news we have this week. Um, I mean, the only other news is that Twitter might die at some point in time. So we're preparing the Noah's Ark that is going over to Hive, making accounts over on Hive. Hive is only a mobile app at the moment, mobile social app. But I think they're going to be working on a browser thing. I am reading a tweet right now by some random person that says, PSA, do not use Hive as an alternative to Twitter. Their developer is an ableist. The other is a Trump supporter. People already considered the app as an alternative 2 years ago. I mean, I'm not sure. This is not like vetted information. But I mean, I people are gonna have an issue with either Twitter or fucking Hive at some point in time anyway. So it's, I mean, Donald Trump's fucking back on Twitter. So I mean, it's kind of a lose-lose there, right?
For now, you can always find us where we've always been, here
Yep.
on YouTube.
Yep. Here on YouTube. And yeah. If you've made it this far, now I don't even know why I'm saying this. What are we playing this week? What are we playing this week? I'm a step ahead of us.
I I'm gonna be honest. I my whole life has revolved around God of War. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, definitely more Arknights. As this event wraps up, I have 2 new units that I need to properly level and get their stuff together for the upcoming, well, existence. Other than that, let's be real here. I'm gonna play more Overwatch and have Aqua just sit there and silently, or not so silently, judge me from afar. And I will update you with what I actually play this time next week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna play more Pokemon. I gotta catch them all. I've actually half of me playing that game has just been me walking around and just every new Pokemon I see, I get into a fight with that I just catch. Um, I've caught like 120 Pokemon, I think. Out of the 400. So, and the 400 also includes like evolution stuff like that. So some of the Pokemon I need to like evolve, or maybe if I can find it walking around somewhere, capture it. It's yeah, play more Pokemon. I gotta start back up Harvestella. Since I'm not dealing with God of War, I can go through that game. And yeah, I guess I'll probably pick up Arafel. Just to try that out. Like I said, I'm attached to Ruby. I've actually hear it's a good game. Let me go ahead and see what the reviews for it are. No, I don't want to click on Tekken 8. Or not Tekken 8. Tekken
Don't you
7.
though?
No, I don't. No, it's actually Bandai Namco Entertainment like sale type thing or not, whatever going on.
Ah, that's right. The autumn sale, the autumn Steam sale is coming up like next week.
Yeah. Mostly positive reviews on Steam. So yeah. So I mean, it's only $26. I might as well buy it now because at 26 it goes back up to 39.99 or 29.99, something like that. In like 12 hours. So but yeah. I will update you like Dollet will this time next week. If you've made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and or I mean, I'm over there on Hive as well. That's the same thing. So I mean, wherever you can, join my Discord, which you can find on my Twitter as well. If you want updates on when we're going to be putting out content. But yeah, see you guys next week.
Be good. Make good decisions.
Not make bad decisions.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.